Now y'all know what we're here for. We're here for the African Museum. We're here for the East Atlanta slave trade. East Atlanta slave trade, y'all, is what we're gonna focus on.
East African, you mean? I think he meant East African slave trade.
That's where we're gonna put our focus at, but I guess this is some of the artwork.
All right, let me get my other stream going.
Some of the artwork.
Look like the connection is bad. There you go.
Obviously, this is one of the royal garments. Yeah. Would that be one of the royal garments that one of the kings would wear?
Nah, this more American.
Huh?
This kind of, you know how they have the slave tradition after they create. This more of a American thing. It's like with Mardi Gras.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this more. Yeah, it just he was. But bringing it here.
Yeah, I'll bear with me because it looked like we got a connection issue over here. Let's see if I can. Looks like they got a bad connection. Let me see something. So, oh, my connection is unstable. What? Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is whichever one of them got a good connection, that's the one we're gonna connect to.
But as you notice, the more museums you visit, you're gonna always see this date. You're gonna always start with the 1800s. But if you start slavery in the 1600s, you miss history. But they're always showing you events of what? The 1800s. So just pay attention to dates and how they slip that line there to make you believe the things you was told. So again, you see it again, slave ship. Slave ship in 1840, not the 1600s. A slave ship in 1840, y'all. My bad, y'all. I do got no flash. 840. 1840. So sometimes y'all will have ride kind of again. This is the beginning of the museum. This is the beginning of the museum. So where it started, you don't see
Y'all, the noise y'all hear is probably in the museum. I can hear like a hum or something, but it's in the museum. It's probably in the building that they're in. So it's not us.
Are you
It's
taking
not
pictures of
technical
them
difficulties.
separately?
Huh?
You taking pictures of them separately?
I'm not taking pictures.
Oh, okay.
I got my live.
Oh, live.
So again, when we hear the focus on African slave trade. So here's another. You know, ancient and modern. You see that? 1861. Look, y'all. You know this is stuff that when you go to these museums and the stuff we was told, it don't line up. You know, this is also writing about the slaves, Charleston, Carrier. You know, with the names of I guess the names I don't know, but you know, 'cause let's see if we can find if somebody was imported. Nah, if somebody was imported. Cause they do got the writings on here, y'all. Yeah, they don't have no. We looking to see if they got any names or something like. If we could find some kind of African name. Could we find Angola Negroes? I see that one right there. Right there for sale. Y'all see Angola? Sugar and coffee. You see that sugar and coffee? Imperial gunpowder, tea.
Y'all, I got a Angola. I think the last part of the Papa Bull series that I was doing, giving the information about the Papa Bulls, the last part that I am editing right now, just give me time. I'm gonna upload it. It has a
I
portion
can't
in
see
it
it right
about
though, y'all.
Angola.
It's kind of hard. It says
Yes, the Papa Bulls are connected
most
to the
Africans became
plantation
captives
/
through warfare,
prison
while
system.
others were captured in raids. African traders were typically of competing societies for kingdoms. So you see, y'all, a lot was going on. You know, you had a lot of war among our own people. You know, which caused slavery. Huh? Transatlantic. And see, the transatlantic is the transportation of slaves. It all slave is transatlantic. This don't let this the transatlantic slave trade. Every slave trade is the transatlantic. When you're dealing with America. Now again, when slaves went to other places, they might not travel the Atlantic Ocean. You know, but the transatlantic slave trade is what? You know, it's all slavery. That's why they give you this big number. You know,
this in YouTube.
Well, look how they got that. Look how they got the voyage of Africa to America, y'all. They got that hella close. Like South America and Africa is like,
That's
you know, well, that's a lot of water in between here, though. It's a lot of water, but the way they got it, you know, is real, real close. And you know they say it's a puzzle that go right there. So that could be like a big, big river, a huge river, because you know the way they got it, that go right there. Ain't no doubt about it. This goes right here. So again, we're dealing with the slavery in Charleston. Again, you see these dates, y'all. You see the 1800s. You know, you see the 1800s, y'all. It's no, you can't run from that. You can't run that slavery did not take place in the 1600s. That's why the East African slave trade is so important. The East African slave trade is so important, y'all. It's so important, man. Now, the ordinance of lost lives, you know, it says in the 1600s, enslaved Africans and African descent primarily arrived in Carolina from the Caribbean by the 1700s. More were sent directly to Charleston from ports in West. That's almost how Charleston look right now.
Was that the?
Nah, we didn't go in there. Now remember, y'all, we are here for the what? We are here for the East African slave trade. Don't forget that. And why did you think they was renaming people? And they was mostly renaming kids so they could what? So they couldn't trace where they came from. Not knowing where you came from has always been a part. You know, now again, when you deal with the when you deal with the Atlantic slave trade, this is something they always have what? They've been renaming us so we won't know where we come from. Names back then let you know where you was from. But this is why what? Slaveholders often rename captives and did not record their original names. This was a what? So now when someone tell you where you come from, all you could do is believe them. Because when your ancestors got here, they didn't have the names they had in Africa. This is important, y'all. This kind of stuff got us what? Fighting with people saying, when we say we from East Africa, no, y'all from West Africa. You know, and all this is division, y'all. I just want to catch that.
Collect the money, children wouldn't spend money in life alone. In fact,
And you see how they started, right? It's a reason why this is a narrative, y'all. You see this narrative? West Africa. You know, enslaved people from West Africa. You know, it's a reason why they say that. That means no East African was ever enslaved? That's what they saying? They didn't get East Africans. That's a lie. So what they really want to hide, we're not saying West Africans didn't go into slavery too, but why they never mention East? It's a reason why. And that's why we're here. We are here to uncover the East African slave trade. Because most of these things gonna say West. And that's what? That's to hide the truth. You know, and this is why they changed the names. This is why they got rid of the names, because they was wanting to hide where they was taking people from.
Rice and various kinds of environment where rice was grown. People in the Rio Union region and going up to Central and Central going down.
You have the same kind of houses in Africa now.
Honey, I am multitasking. I'm gonna get off the screen and turn my. Just bear with the technical difficulties. They are out and about, so probably got a bad signal. It keeps saying my signal, but I'm at home on the Wi-Fi, so I
Was grown in the upland region that depended on rainfall, which
West Africans historically grew rice in inland swamps and along because of the similarity in terrain
Black minority.
West Africa.
Black minority.
Were able to be used.
So what? Do we go up? We go up? No. No. This ain't it. You been over here? I want the East Africa.
I think we gotta go to the next.
Yeah, it's another floor. It's like, y'all ain't get the map?
I got the map.
They gave us a little map. They gave us a little map. Turn around. So, where we at? This is where you. Oh yeah. What is this? It's the Atlanta Worlds. The Atlanta World Straight African Roots. Yeah, well, that's the Carolina Gold.
It's all on this floor.
You got the steps right there.
This is where we came in.
Gotta go down. Yeah, we gotta probably go down. See this right here? You got them steps.
Yeah, 'cause we gotta go to Atlantic Worlds. Right now, where you see that? Right now, this the African Roots right here. African Roots.
So the steps back that way? This one? We're going down.
Passage departure. Right here. I don't know if you even departure. Must be right here. Must be right here. I think we go down right here. At the, what is it? International? Oh no, this ain't it either. Oh, you go down the front? Why they got it? They should have it like a map on the ground where you can walk through and so you won't miss nothing. Huh? Man, this can't be it. This is it. I think it's just this. You want to ask?
American Journey. American Journey back there.
Let me show y'all something. Y'all. Some nice. You want to ask? Nice artwork right there, y'all. Nice artwork. It's a man right there, y'all. I told him he had to go home. He was trying to take Negroes back to East Africa. I said, oh no, we ain't having that. We ain't having that.
Divide the people. So the people that have a lot in common don't think they do. They know they do. Well, people don't know they do. Yes.
We are for one thing and one thing only, y'all. The East African slave trade.
Fair Housing Act of 1968. Today, there are anti-democratic forces that are at work in the country that are determined to narrow the size of the electorate in our country, that are intent on putting blockages and impediments to the rights to vote. And that, of course, has the potential to damage the entire country, its political culture, and the faith that we have.
All right. Thank you, there.
My name is Herb Frazier, and I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm the former marketing and public relations director.
How is it that we hear the loudest yells for liberty among the drivers of Negroes? You know why?
I think on paper, yes, much more than my great-grandfather Michael Manning. Putting that
Uprising, uprising. Hmm? We need to find out where the East, what the cotton? Cotton textile. Oh, you can't touch it, huh? I forgot you can't touch. Well, cotton textile, Carolina.
And it has It doesn't matter if it's just me and one other black woman in the room. If we look at each other, we see it. Greenville, South Carolina, and I am a park ranger with the National Park Service. Charleston,
What?
It just caught my eye. They're illegal.
Exactly. Why don't you say some the dates? That's what I think.
That's one thing that most people don't understand. Everything else, it was illegally done by humanitarian rights at present. There were a lot of things that people dropped the ball on.
That's why they was
That's
hiding.
another thing that we don't really look at. We just think in our mind it happened, but it was illegally done to people that they didn't have the right. People didn't have the right.
And I am the executive director of the
People didn't have the right to take it off the land. These things were against all humanitarian rights that
I
government.
am Bernard Powers, Director of the Center for the Study of Slavery at the College of Law.
What God you was doing, it gives us a moment to stand on it. Right now, a lot of people are accountable and responsible. There are a lot of injustices that happen to us.
Okay, is that good, Doc? Is that what you need? All right, thank you.
I wonder, can you find out where the East African stuff at? Oh, this is where you could, you're supposed to be able to touch one of this. You could touch one of these and find your identity.
Really?
See where you come from. Let's see. How to genealogy. They got genealogy. You getting this?
Yes, sir.
Begin. Continue. Type in first name. CMRDELL. I see my name, huh? Cardell Johnson. The city. I'm from Baton Rouge, y'all. I'm from Baton Rouge. Let's see what they gonna give me, y'all. East Baton Rouge, United States, birth year. I was born in 1986. Y'all wanna look me up? 1986. And what do I do now? So I put in everything. Cardell Johnson, Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge Parish, Louisiana, 1986. So it says your ancestral record belong to a collection of similar documents. Martinez Baptist, for example. Oh, that's why I hit search. All right, y'all. Let's see. Cardell Johnson. I'm not Clarence. That's not me. What do I find? My name?
I think so. I think that's what you have to find and identify who you are and all the Cordell Johnsons of the world that y'all keep on trying to make it seem like y'all Jews the only one in the world that has this name.
Damn.
Damn, that's that many. I told you there's a lot.
Search by male. Race. That should go down right there, huh? Yeah, hold on. So that's what I'm saying. What they asking me? Events and relationships.
Yeah, obviously there's a whole bunch of people there. If it's not your events and what is linked to you, then obviously you're not that person.
But okay, I looked up. It says, "Oh, do I add my ancestor right here, or do I put my name right here?"
You add ancestors information. You gotta put your people.
Let's go back, man. Let's go back.
Damn, you got to know some of your people's information? Oh, that's going to be a little...
They know we don't. We didn't ask them all these things.
Let's go back. Okay. Records, names, last name.
Yeah, that would be your name there.
12 for your ancestors and can lead.
So I'm not gonna type in my name. I type in my ancestor's name. I'm gonna put James. Shit, that's my dad. James. How you spell Duval? Shit, I don't know how to spell my dad's last name. I ain't got no address. He from Mississippi. Birth. Mississippi. Shit, my dad was adopted anyway, so this shit like that, man, you won't know, man. I ain't messing with it, y'all. I don't know. I ain't messing with it, man. I thought it was a little simpler than that.
Some kind of phone thing.
Yeah. I guess I tell you, I thought it was a little simpler than that.
Please scan
But
for your speaking truth.
so they had some little setup in here where you kind of research and find your history. But all right.
It's these little tablets set up there.
Oh, okay. That's what this is. You kind of get your all right, y'all. We back on the search for East Africa, man. I want to know what they specifically talk about it at. We gonna have to ask somebody. We're gonna ask somebody what they specifically talk about the East African slave trade. Because we haven't really seen too much. It's a nice piece of artwork right there, y'all. It's a nice piece of artwork right there. But like I say, y'all, we here for one particular reason, y'all. You know, we here for one particular reason. You know. It was just mighty funny how out of all African nations, in military, the black people wanted to go help Ethiopia. Is there any other African country you want to go help fight? Other than Ethiopia? Is there any other country? Somebody talk to me, y'all. The Black Star Line with Marcus Garvey. See, I don't think a lot of people overlook Marcus Garvey movement. You know, You got a black star line, right, to get us back to East Africa. I think a lot of people overlook Marcus Garvey movement because we talk about it, but why was Marcus Garvey going back to East Africa? What was in East Africa? But now we have all these Garvey movements, but you never hear East Africa. You know, but you see Marcus Garvey, you see the Black Star Line, again, was to get us from America so we could start our own economic freedom in Africa. And now what, 100 years later, we still in the same boat, ain't we?
Yes, sir.
We still in the same boat. So the real Pan-African movement was a movement to get us back to East Africa to what? Reshape Africa. You know, a lot of people overlook that. And look when this was, y'all. 1918. Y'all overlook Marcus Garvey. 1918. It wasn't no Nation of Islam. It wasn't no Moorish Science Temple. It wasn't no Christian churches on every corner. It wasn't 1 million black pastors. You know, so this stuff, y'all, we pay attention to when you talk about Marcus Garvey movement. Marcus Garvey movement was very important. It was before we was infiltrated with a lot of these movements that's not doing us no good. Babe, did you find out about East Africa?
Oh, I thought this is where it was.
No.
I went back to the Transatlantic just to see.
You're gonna have to ask somebody. We're gonna have to ask somebody. I want to do they even talk about him going back to East Africa?
They got the scramble for Africa over here. But they don't talk about it.
Now, look at the Great Migration. Now, y'all, you can't hold us down that long. Why did the migration start in 1910? Of us leaving the South. You think it took us that long? You think it took us this long? If we was here since 1600s, it took us 300 years to leave the South? This is why we have no fight in us. It didn't take us that long, y'all, to start leaving. So 90% of black people was well in the rural South. And then you had a great migration where we began to leave the South, which was in the 1900s, because a lot of us was just coming here in the 1800s. These are the facts that mess up history. And y'all, 100 years is a long time, man. I don't think y'all overlook. 100 years is a long time, especially for you to keep up with information. We barely keep up with information. We got TV, computers, and phones. You know, so again, our migration, y'all, when we start packing up America, shit, 1910, when most people great grandmother was born. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't know nobody in your great grandmother time. You probably just know, I know my great grandmother. That's it. You don't know your great uncle. You don't know your great cousin. You don't know none of them. You just know your great grandmother. You know, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about most people. It's very few people that can go back to their great grandmother. You know, and let alone know what's really going on. What
Talk about the Pan-African Conference, and he said all points of British Empire, United States, America, Abyssinia, Liberia, and Haiti. The conference organized by a committee of African.
Now, see this Abyssinia right here, y'all? If you didn't know, this Abyssinia is Ethiopia. You know, so why it's no longer called Abyssinia no more? You know, because that's when you get the connecting historical things. So you got a Pan-African Conference, you know, in 1900s, and you had the British Empire, which is other nations. You had the United States of America, Abyssinia, liberal, and what is that?
Hayati.
Now, why are you putting Abyssinia here if slavery is so connected to West Africa?
I want to say that's Haiti, but they call it Haiti.
That's Haiti?
I think it's Haiti, but
Oh, Haiti. You see what I'm saying? So, liberal is what? That's in Africa, right?
Yeah, Libya.
Libya. That's
Well, Liberia. That's what I'm saying. It's
where's
like
that? Where's that? Liberia? Where's
That's
that?
Africa.
that's
That's
I found out. I know, but what side? That's east.
I think it's
No,
That's
that's
west?
west. Yeah, that's where I think Libya is in the west.
So, but why do you have Abyssinia if Abyssinia
West.
has nothing to do with what? With the slave trade. But East Africa has everything to do with the slave trade, because why would you have a Pan-African movement would consider what? Abyssinia. If it was all West Africa, you would have all West African names here. But the first name you get when you come from Africa is what? What we call today Ethiopia, but they called it Abyssinia. And when you do the Moors history, they trace their roots back to Abyssinia.
Did you see this? This talk about World War I and II. It says,
They actually put Abyssinia out there.
Now, this is where they talk about the scramble for Africa. You know, now, King Leopold in 1885, they was just getting Africa. They was scrambling for Africa in 1885, but yet they was taking us in the 1600s, y'all. They just was scrambling in the 1885, y'all, to get Africa. They go your 1800s. And this is Central, y'all. This is not West. Why would he be in Central Africa? You know, to get people from the East to the West. Look at these people. Ugandans, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia.
Chopping off hands just because. You know what France
Oh, I like
did
this.
in Congo.
Middle East.
What the Italians did all over Africa is what would make what we going through here in Africa like we, went on a vacation. Some of this stuff,
Oh, look.
man,
Now look, the crazy thing about it. Only Libya and Ethiopia remain independent. Now, remaining independent don't mean you are not colonized, because the colonizers can set up the one that's running the country. See, when you really do the history, the colonizers set up certain people. The last, after Haile Selassie, the man that was put in office, America helped him get in office. But that's a whole nother talk for a whole nother day. But again, this is how they try to, the only people that remained independent was Ethiopia and Liberia. But it tell you about what? If you go before, when they go over here, what that was we'll read. Well, right here.
Yeah.
The Pan-African Conference, Abyssinia and Liberal. That's a hell of a connection, y'all. That goes to show you Ethiopia was involved in the slave trade. So,
it talks a little bit about the East African, but it doesn't,
where?
like, for World War I and World War II. I'm trying to look. He said to ask the woman in front,
Okay.
but he said the people that really know, they're not here today. So, I might go ask them.
It says the United States had the largest number of black soldiers in the war. Okay, European forced some 375 African soldiers to join military campaigns in the Middle East, North and East Africa. Where's West Africa?
What?
Where's West Africa, y'all?
What?
Why they have no campaign in West Africa? Because when you deal with the European nations, East Africa was their main place. And again, if you don't understand this, you're not gonna understand slavery. This is why we got people running around saying slavery didn't exist, because we don't know how to connect it. You know, but the campaigns were set up in the Middle East, North and East Africa, y'all. World War II. A lot of people don't know World War II was about East Africa. What European nation was gonna gain East Africa, not West? These, y'all, I don't know how more important these facts are, man, to really understand the slavery history. If you don't include East Africa when you talk slavery, you're gonna miss the whole picture. And that's why the picture is never clear. And there's a reason why African Americans want to help Ethiopia. The details are there. Our eyes not open.
Oh shoot, Purple Heart winner.
That's a brother. That's a brother.
And when you deal with the Negroes, y'all, our features are more East. East Africa is important, y'all, when it comes to our freedom. The first Pan-African movement.
Look at them. They look like goddamn Ethiopians.
The first Pan-African movement was to go back to Ethiopia, not West Africa. There's a reason why, y'all.
Look like
So,
the Ethiopians to me, don't it?
We've been getting further and further away from the truth. Let's come back. The star line is back, y'all. We gotta find out where they talk about the East African, man. Cause that's what we're here for, y'all. We here to discuss the East African slave trade, man. That's what we're here to discuss, nothing else. You know, we're not here to talk about slavery. We all know what happened in slavery. You know, we got a lot of misconstrued facts about slavery, but we're here to uncover the East African slave trade.
We got some water in the car.
Some water? We gotta get some. They got a cafe upstairs?
That's true.
No, I think Kate went to go. Hold on, why we went upstairs? We
came in here, right?
Just keep on going around and you'll run right into the cafe.
All you see is West Africa. West Africa.
They don't want you
West
to
Africa.
know it's
West
from
Africa.
you.
Everywhere you go,
They
West
change it
Africa.
every 6 months.
What?
The museum. So they add different stuff every 6 months.
Hey, that's what East Africa.
Hey, brother.
Where they talk about East African slave trade.
Yeah, it's on the other side.
Hey, Kay. Other side. He says
Other side?
other side too.
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
No problem.
Can I give you one?
Yes, sir. I slipped down my arm yesterday. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The only thing we could have did was overlooked it. Excuse me.
Really big. What's that?
Little boot.
That's a boot. I see it.
Everything you see. Oh, this is a cafe? Oh, no. This is a cafe right now. It's good. It's good. We had to miss it, y'all. We had to miss it, y'all. I think it was over here.
The amount of earth that enslaved people moved. What we know thus far is that there were about 7
What's up? What's up? Excuse, I'm sorry. Let y'all see these swords. All right, y'all, look. I ain't even show y'all where this sword from. Y'all see that sword? You see the Ethiopian cross? Y'all see the Ethiopian cross? Y'all see that? Y'all see the Ethiopian cross? You see it, right? You gotta see the Ethiopian cross. It's another cross on here. And then you got the hammer. The Spartans. But I want to see what y'all catch it. Come over here and look at this. You gotta turn to you, man. Yeah. Turn it. Look at that. See, do you see that? What that is on the edge right there?
Cross.
But what kind of cross? What kind of cross that is? You don't see what kind of cross it is? What kind of art that is? That's Ethiopian art. Mm-hmm. Now, what is the Ethiopian sword? But that's like, you know, that's not a regular, you know, that's not an Ethiopian cross here. Mm-hmm. You look at all the ancient, you know, it's got that little curve on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it goes like
yes. If you look at the Ethiopian cross.
That's true. Yes. And this right here.
They should have destroyed those.
The initials on it.
Oh, I thought K-Mom was gonna ask somebody. You seen them?
You guys know that there's people too. They said they would be over here in the States that have most of their Africans still intact. Did you read anything about this?
Not too much.
Go out toward the lobby, and it's another side. That's what the guard said.
That's what this side right here.
This is that was the lobby over
This is the side. That's the lobby. Yeah, we came over here. Let's came on and went to a different spot. Call her phone. Call K-Money. Oh, you got this side over here. And we ain't go to this side. Where she at? Hello, where you at? Yeah, where you at?
Huh?
Where you at?
I'm all the way to the back. You know where y'all was just at? I'm putting in my name into the
Oh yeah, we did it already. Trying to find it.
did anything show up?
You gotta put in your ancestors.
There's one with the family tree. They don't,
But you don't put in your name. You put it in your ancestors' name. That's what I had to do. That's why I didn't do it. So, but
do you
you.
have anything East African?
That's why I was asking. Did you ask somebody?
Yeah, I asked them. They said that they didn't know. They didn't see it. They weren't told nothing about it.
They weren't told nothing about it.
They said that they could have an exhibit on their website, and it's not in the museum. So I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. But
I'm gonna tell Ed to look it up.
huh?
I'm gonna tell Ed to look it up. All right.
Right back.
Okay.
And look up where is it in the international where it talks about East African slave trade.
In here?
Yeah.
They'll take your money, but they don't want you in there.
Let's go back and find Dan before we lose him.
You see that right around the corner? Oh, look at that. It says Nigeria.
What?
Is Nigeria and Ethiopia right kind of close?
I wouldn't say that. Well, you know who to say.
That one back there, it said Nigeria on it, but it looked Ethiopian to me.
Who's to say? On where? Back here?
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't that.
It's a way for them to actually keep us thrown off. They were never colonized for one. You ain't gonna never question that.
They're not displaying this month.
Yeah, they.
Like the dude said they exchange it every once in a while.
They change it up.
Yeah, so if they do, they don't make it, like you can see it all the time.
That's bull crap. I'm finna make sure. I think if somebody ever, cause ain't nobody gonna come here and talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll probably be the only ones right now.
Yep, we're probably only one. Everybody can do this. All American assume it's all from West Indies or West Africa.
No, like click, like listen.
These fucking dates here.
Where in the International African Museum in South Carolina I could find the East African slave trade? Where in the International African American Museum I can find the East African slave trade? I want like if you can go on the website and look for it or something. Okay. This is it right here. Let me see. The International African American Museum. If you can go right here. Okay, Explore Museum. It gotta be right here. The Atlantic world. Yeah. It's gonna have to be right here, the Atlantic world. That's the only place I can see them putting it. That's what I. That's what I. This is where it would be at right here. Yeah. Now, hold up, y'all. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. For centuries, Queen who?
Victoria.
Of the 1800s into the 1900s, the concept of women traveling the world alone, the controversial examples were rare. So, area. That's the era of history, man. Okay. So this would have to Sierra Leone.
And that's what that criminal too.
Now, again, this is the Atlantic Ocean, y'all. So any slave that would come from Africa to the West had to go what? Through the transatlantic. It's impossible. There's no other way around it. So the transatlantic overview of the transatlantic slave trade is from 1501 to 1867. But again, they leave out East Africa. This is what we came here for. Nobody came from over here, but the world wars was about East Africa. Come on, y'all, we gotta do better. So we gonna see if they slip it in there.
Don't forget about Queen Nanny.
Queen Nanny, who was that?
Well, she was a revolutionary that fought in the war. She fended it off. A lot of actually we have a little clip I'll be playing on my live about Queen Nanny. This is about the Maroons over here. So
This is where the only way it would be at. So I'm gonna scan the wall.
Queen Nanny had her own. She had her own money too. You know, they said she used to catch bullets and throw it back at soldiers.
I don't know about that one.
She was. She used to catch the bullets and throw it back at soldiers.
Maybe I talked to you in the front. She said they have exhibits on their website because museum or whatever. But they didn't mention this out.
Why they got it on their website?
I'm saying they can have like an exhibit on their website, but not in the museum. But I'm gonna look it up.
You know what? They don't talk about cotton at all.
They had one thing over there about cotton. It was small.
No, you know, it's crazy about this picture. This is the same picture that Queen Victoria had painted, you know, of that man that time. When Queen Victoria had him bow down and give him the Bible, that's that picture. That Jeff Rosen show. That's the same picture. But they said, look, now if cotton was in East Africa, right? The painting is one of the earliest deceptions of an African in European art, though the identity of his subject is still a mystery. His clothing and accessories, including leather gloves, a finely crafted sword, and gem-studded bag, convey his high station. His facial expression and posture excluded confidence.
So he was high up. He's
It's
high,
not about
high up.
African leaders.
Yeah, head of
But they
state.
don't tell you which leaders.
They make it look like she's African queen.
Yeah, they just reference them, but they don't reference their status and what they really are. It's like it's a mystery.
You see, they made a distinction between her color and their color.
They got the Haitian Revolution.
Her color and their color.
They got the Haitian Revolution.
That's all it is.
Look at that. Now, how can they say liberal was founded? Well, if you really want liberal and Ethiopia, because they don't talk about Abyssinia, but it say liberal was founded in West Africa by the American colony in 1822. Near 15,000 black Americans migrated there. Ah, okay. So the colony was hampered by limited financial support, tensions of local Africans, and highly moral rates. Liberia became an independent nation. In 1847,
Last thing, how about they came back on this last one? About the black abolishers.
Well, they keep that East African slave trade out of here for a purpose, don't they? They don't want to tell nothing about me in this African stuff.
That's crazy.
I wanted to ask them if they seen anything about Tennessee.
Huh?
No, they don't say nothing about that. They do not say nothing about that. Dr. Walter Radden, he used to go to Tanzania. He had a foundation set up in Tanzania.
Who?
Dr. Walter Radden, the one I told you about the revolution, they assassinated him in the 80s.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, like I said, he's like, God dang. He was really pulling for it. He knew he had some personal damage that he knew about the sacrifice. He knew it. He knew what was going to happen.
We ain't getting no East Africa, huh?
Unique scripts were also created. 14th century manuscripts from the libraries at Timbuktu show adoption of Arabic scripts.
Everything West Africa.
Poetry, history,
West Africa.
theology, law, and
West Africa.
numerology. 15th century scholars of Timbuktu studied astronomy and knew about the rotation of the planets, details of the eclipse, and more.
Did y'all hear that? I wish I could rewind it. Maybe I can because no, I can't because yes, I can. No, I can't. Anyway, I'm about to upload a live recording that I did
Look up who these
last
people
night
are.
on the
The
planets.
Congolese people.
I'm literally uploading it right now,
The
and it's about the
Congolese.
planets. That just listen.
Practices include the use of plants, medical procedures, and surgeries.
The Congo is home to no.
The most long-lasting
No, I was saying who these people were right here. Yeah, they call them the Congolese.
So if you tuned into the live right now,
and social well-being.
after this, check out the video that I just uploaded. Well, I'm about to upload during this stream. And it talks about the planets. It's very, very interesting what I found about the word planets and the origin of the word. Surprisingly, y'all, most of y'all won't be surprised. Well, most of you will be surprised. Those that understand the truth, you're not going to be surprised that the origin of the word planet goes back to Ethiopia.
What's saying? But they don't say we come from the Congo. They say we come from West Africa.
Always.
Oh, this is, right here. Well, it touches, this is, I told you that one little thing that
The interconnection between the living and the dead
There you go,
is a
right?
universal cosmos that makes
That's all that says
conversation
it's
between
something like
sacred
reach the East African coast.
This Sudan.
science, medicine, cosmology,
Most woven outfits and tunings were inspired by,
original spiritual
created in groups and male function weavers. So can we look up this word? Ed? Come look up this word.
The fellowship.
Yeah, Falena weavers. Because you know the weavers was the people that dealt with cotton.
The Dogon of Mali honor deities and ancestors through rituals,
Okay, you looking okay?
They
Cause that
keep
look like
trying
that
to cut me
Ethiopian.
off,
You know, Ethiopian
but the
artists get
devil
off.
is a liar.
Now the black throw it off.
Fulani is considered Muslim. That's who that. That's who they are. They have
Yeah, they
Muslim
said
descent.
West Africa, Sarah.
They
West
huddle
Africa
herd
and
cattle
northern
and
parts of Central.
nomadic lifestyle.
The sea coast in Sudan, so it's connected to Sudan.
So how they connect you to Sudan? Sudan is east.
It just says regions there. It won't really tell you exactly where.
See what I'm saying?
It's just
They just don't want you to put your finger on the East Coast at all. They want you to stay out of here as much as they can. As soon as you start putting your nose on the East,
West Central Africa.
1400 empires of West Central Africa was centered in the sub-Saharan Africa, but boosted intention trade networks that reach East Africa and the coast of South Asia. 4 empires dominated the Congo, Angola, Mali,
and mark the natural cycles of existence.
but see, when you deal with the Portuguese was what? In the East, right? When the Portuguese in the East?
Activities and ceremonies. The sophisticated designs allow weavers to put their skills on display.
it's the only thing that even mentioned inside.
That's my first time seeing it since I've been in here.
Symbolize beauty
Only
or
fact that
strength.
even mentions.
They can also identify family background, social status, spirituality,
And I'm trying to.
community, and marital status.
They don't even, look at this. They don't even mention East Africa. Like look at East Africa. You know,
They let you touch it on the screen.
you can't even go over there. They just got it blocked out. Like it don't exist.
Yep, like it don't exist.
It don't exist.
Find quality, artistry,
No matter how far you go to the 1900s, you go to the 2000s. East Africa does not exist.
particularly important because it symbolized knowledge, good judgment, and character. Blacksmiths have shaped African culture since at least 500 BC, forging spiritual objects, instruments,
Now
tools, and weapons that allowed
it says Ethiopia is the oldest Christian nation, but Africans who practice Islam and Christianity is from West. If you look up the oldest African Christian nation, you're gonna get East Africa. You know, you're not gonna get no West Africa. But everything is West. But you're dealing with what? West and West Central Africans historically practice a variety of spiritual traditions.
for everything from building details to city layouts. There are more than 2,000 traditional or heart languages spoken in Africa. Most of them were not written until the modern era, resulting in rich oral and musical traditions that have been used to pass on stories and wisdom
Look,
for generations.
now, this supposed to be an Islam
Scripts were also created.
transcript,
14th
right?
century manuscripts from the libraries at
But
Timbuktu
home to dozens of libraries with thousands of books.
express poetry,
The Timbuktu, West Africa, was a major site of Islamic scholars and the hub for the production and distribution of books in medieval era. Manuscripts like this one concerning Islam law reflects the importance and the prevalence of the legacy among Islamic society. So they have Islamic in the East.
the Dogon of Mali had knowledge of astronomy dating back to 3200 BC, which included awareness that the star Sirius B
Yo, this West Africa stuff, man, is really, you see how the effect of West Africa has really misunderstood. You know, it's really misunderstood.
Long before colonialism, Africans had a highly advanced understanding of medicine. Practices include the use of plants, medical procedures, and surgeries.
They don't want to mention no East down. They'll hint
The most
around
long-lasting
East
is
Africa,
the
but they don't put you there at
African
all.
methods of treating the complete physical, mental, and social well-being.
They got the Ruba clan and all that over here.
The circular or holistic approach to wellness is still relevant of West African communities. And lasting influences can be seen in descendant practices throughout the diaspora.
You know, we gotta go to that market though. We can
Yeah,
find
we can always come back to it.
Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso. But everything we seen, y'all said West Africa, man. That goes to show you, y'all. You know.
Inspired by the rhythmic movement of the sun, the turn of the seasons, and the cycle of life. The interconnection between the living and the dead is a universal cosmos that makes no distinction between the sacred and the secular.
But they really have no.
From science, medicine, cosmology,
Now, this right here, in that white,
diviners are ritual spiritualists who skillfully read
and that white right there, y'all.
the realm of the divinities.
Well, y'all, we gon' see. We would have came yesterday. It probably would have had more people who really, who knew. They gonna make us look through everything. Y'all, we walk, we look. How much juice I got on that phone? It's about to go dead?
47%.
Okay. So we're gonna go outside now, y'all, man. We look, we search. You know, we seen a little bit, but they really is hiding. And from the from the website, they was as if you was gonna come in here. They had me psyched up. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I was psyched up. I was gonna say what? That's why we drove 4 hours just to see how psyched up it was. Right? How really psyched up it was. No, nothing vegan over there. No, we asked everybody we could.
I don't know if there's anybody else. I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh, let me use the restroom.
Peace, y'all. Digital exhibits. So they got digital exhibits on their website, I guess. Trying to see it. But do you guys know anybody that knows everything about the exhibit that's here though? Or they're not here.
They're usually not here. They're usually struggling. But I live in contact
So I can like I'll email them and okay. Thank you.
Big my brother give you a call. We gotta keep our band on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's you say?
She gave me a card of somebody I could email.
Oh. You got my charger? Charger?
Yeah, I grew up like 5-10 minutes down the road.
Well, y'all, like I say, man, they had me psyched up, y'all. They had me psyched up. I had that in the back of my mind too. When you said that, I like, damn, I wonder if they,
Yeah, you never know.
you know. But to put it on their website like that, because, like I say, when we mentioned East Africa, and we mentioned the slave trade, and we mentioned how Black Americans can be from, or I would better say the African diaspora has been really, I would say, picked upon and has been forced to believe we come from East Africa. We have been forced to believe that, So now, that the truth is out, we see how it's documented that you had an East African slave trade, but it's not talked about. Again, that's a part of Victoria's Secret. That's what that's a part of, Victoria's Secret, y'all. To withhold information that reveals, the things that we need, to know. So you can look up right now East African slave trade and you will pull it up. But when you go into these museums that talk about slavery, you don't see it. And if you do see it, it's a hint. It's like one little small hint. But I just want to show them the walkway where a lot of slaves came in.
Oh, okay.
We ain't gonna walk all the way down. We just gonna walk right here and then, cause they got a market we gonna go to. What is Gullah Geechee? He do hand weave bags. It's like a market. So you see this walkway, y'all, we walking down right now. This is, what they say the slaves walk down, y'all. What we walking on right now, man. Where we are planting our feet right now as well. They say the slaves came in. And again, you see they got the monuments right here. Again, we're in South Carolina, Charleston. Right on the coast. Right on the east coast of America, y'all.
Look at that warship out there.
Right on the east coast of America. Oh, you see water? This walkway, y'all. This walkway. This is where some of us came to America, man. We took our first steps. And like I say, most people, when you deal with the 1800s, you're dealing with your great-grandmother. You're not dealing with your great-grandmother. You're dealing with your great-great-grandmother. Very few people know their great-grandmother. You don't know your great-grandmother's sister. You don't know your great-grandmother's cousin. You don't know none of that. You don't know your great-grandma mama. You just know your great-grandma. But what about your great-great-grandma who was born in the 1850s? 1890. A lot of people great-grandmother was born in 1890. So you deal. So you deal with your great. How many people in the comments know they fourth great grandmother? Put me a 1 in the comments if you know your, and we crazy, we say grandmother, what about the grandfather? You know, what about the seed carrier? You know, so how many people can go back 4 greats to know your great grandmother and your great grandfather? That's the 1800s. That's 4 greats. That's 4 greats, y'all. We can't, you know, you got to understand history, man. You know, you go back 4 great grandmothers and grandfathers, and you in the 1800s. And wasn't nothing called America, wasn't nothing called Ethiopia. Shit, they probably wasn't even calling Africa then. You know. So like I say, y'all, goddamn ladybug. I don't know, that's a CIA ladybug. They bite too. Alright, he flew away when I said that. So I just want to show y'all the walkway, y'all. What they say we walk through, man. A lot of us came through these waters right here, y'all, long ago. Long ago, y'all, long ago. Oh, this is a walkway I just wanted to show y'all. You know. But like I say, y'all, man, 1800s is very important. We overlook them a lot, you know. You know, when you really deal with 1800s, you're dealing with, man, 4 generations. You know, and a lot of us was taken from our parents. A lot of our parents was unalive. A lot of women and children was brought. You know, it's a lot of women and children that was brought here. You know, everybody wasn't grown. You know, everybody didn't have a history book. You know, nobody that came here went to school. You know, so they weren't teaching history courses back then. We get taught history and we still don't know history. So what you think the people over here, they ain't know history? They ain't know nothing about no history. They ain't look at stuff like that. It was about, you could say more of an animal. If an animal get taken from Africa right now, the animal ain't gonna tell you, I came from Africa. Shit, he ain't worried about that. He worried about surviving. Worried about where he came from. You know, so this stuff of where we came from, y'all, only it validates us because we have been lied to. You know. So, but like I say, y'all, about what we finna check out right now, y'all. It's checkout time for the live. Email them. So right now it's checkout time, y'all. So we'll catch y'all next time. We might come back. We're gonna try to send an email out for some more information on the East African slave trade to see if we can get in touch with somebody who knows, because like I said, we walked through, they showed us very few things of the East African slave trade. I'm talking about not even, might have been 1%, a half of 1%. You know, so if we do find some more, we will be touching y'all, but we just gave y'all a tour of the International African Museum. And again, the reason why we came is because it says on their I wouldn't want to say website, or online, it says they validate East African slave trade. So peace, thank you for watching. We are
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. That's what's up. Okay, because I was wondering what they were talking about. They didn't send me no email, though. Make sure they send me an email, okay? Or you can send them the email. You got it? Queued up and ready? Okay. They probably sent the email to me, though, already.
Mm-hmm. And Jane Francisco.
If they sent it to me already, I sent it. All right, y'all. Some of y'all, if you want this email from me, I got you. I'm going to send it to you later. I don't feel like doing no emails right now, to be honest. Can you open that? You might not be able to. If not, I got another one in the house. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to put that back on my fingernail, actually. I like the little butterfly, but let me keep it out. All right, so let's get back to business. It's about your mentality and your confidence, like I said. That's my only point. It's about your mentality and your confidence. And, you know, study everything you can study, but make sure you set up your office at the post office. And then you're a mobile minister. There's steps to this stuff. And all you got to do is do every step when you have time. If it costs money, do it when you get a little money. Don't do everything at once. It's some things people going to try to tell you that you need. You're not going to need them. You're not going to need to do it. All right. Just because it worked for somebody else don't mean it's going to work for you. It don't mean it's something that you need to do. Just stop wasting your money. Don't waste your money. The first thing you need to do is status correction, and that is an ongoing process. It's not no one thing you can do. You're going to have, it's a lot of stuff you need to correct. Starting with your post, the main post office with general delivery. Once you do that, you need to go back and change your social security number and just correct everything. You can change your social security number up to 10 times. Yes, your social security number been breached already. If you've been alive before now, yes. Okay. It went from 350 million people being in debt to 1 billion right now. See, look, 1 billion records have been exposed. How? They allowed it. Okay, so now they allowed it, you guys have to correct your status, correct your credit. You should have unlimited credit, close out all those old accounts and stuff or whatever. Let me mute you, Mustafa. Build credit from this point on without debt. The Bible says to go your way and sin no more. Debt is sin. You're not supposed to be in debt. This is our land. Yes, you can get a new social. You can get 10 in a lifetime. Okay, if you're over the age of 10, you should already have, if you're 40, you should have had 3 to 4 by now. Every 10 years, yes, somebody done use that shit. You can guarantee it. All right, a surefire way of finding out if somebody else other than you have used that social security number is called indemnification through the state. If you have a court case of any kind, even if you paid the ticket or whatever, it's still open. You're going to close it out using an executive letter. Once you use the executive letter, it's a space on there that it says you want full accounting and indemnification for you. You only need to do 1 executive letter per case that you have open, that you've ever had open. A traffic ticket is a case. Child support is a case. Every single case that they ever sent you a letter for. That's work. You got stuff to do. Yep, you was born into debt. And now you're going to cut that out. Cut it out. Don't do that for your children. They don't need no birth certificate. They not a dog, a cat, a chicken, a pig. They don't have to be sold on no market, none of that shit. My daughter does not have none of that. She ain't got no birth certificate, no social security card, none of that. For fucking what? Can't nobody prove to me and tell me no good reason why we got to have it. And now,
although this went into a whole nother live stream that has
you don't have to have
absolutely
it.
nothing to do
A birth certificate is
with
for
the
you to
live
work.
stream that we were
For you to
just
use. If you're well and able-bodied,
broadcasting,
why do you need all of that?
this
They can do
is
all of that
very
if you need it.
interesting.
My grandmama was 70-some years old and never had a birth
It
certificate.
is connected to
Never
the
had a
slave
social security
trade,
card.
surprisingly. The
She
birth
never needed it.
certificates, the social security numbers, the bonds.
She never needed it.
So I'm gonna just let this play for
Told
a
y'all
minute.
why she ate out her garden.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
even
where
remember
she's
my grandmama
going,
ever going to
but
the fucking grocery store. I can't remember.
so
I
far
can't
so
recall
good.
not one
So I'm
time.
gonna let it ride for
And
a
I'm
minute.
not even joking. And I sat here and thought about that on live. I was like, God, that is crazy. I don't even think my grandmama ever went to the grocery store.
That's different. My grandma would go every Saturday.
My grandmama hated the goddamn grocery store. My grandma didn't barely go nowhere. She went to the post office on Tuesday, remember? That was it.
Somebody to ride her to the grocery store.
And church on Sunday. That's it. That's it. Church on every Sunday. She ain't never missed church.
Be like her, I swear. She stayed home.
I don't give a damn. It wasn't no sick. You ain't finna play sick. Your head going to church. I don't care if you sick. It didn't even matter. If you was at her house, your head going to church. That's it. It ain't no mouth or nothing.
Going to Sunday school, yeah.
Straight up. Yeah, you straight up going. The damn church bus coming to get you. You better be on that mug. But yeah, you see, and that's the thing about us. We moving too fast. We doing so much stuff. And we think we rich, but really you wasting your time and your energy. You're going to make yourself sick. See, our bodies are designed to do some extraordinary things in short amount of time, in short spaces and stuff, but not long periods of time, not long term. You're not supposed to push your body and work your body long term. You're supposed to get rest for stuff, and then when you need to do something like Superman or Spider-Man, you activate and you go do it. Then you diffuse and you keep your energy. Power up. Then when you need to do something, you have energy. If your ass sick, I'm gonna tell you something. It don't matter how much money your ass got. It don't matter what that car drive like. It don't matter what your house look like or how big it is. Get sick ain't gonna change everything. You ain't gonna give a fuck about nothing but not dying. I got so sick one time. Put everything into perspective. I had to learn this stuff. W4T, terminate the W4. See, they get you to do stuff and you just do it because you ain't studied nothing. What the fuck did you even do a W4 for? What is it? Somebody, anybody? You look it up real quick. Tell these people. What is a W4? Like, what is a birth certificate? What is a social security card? What do you need it for?
What is a W4?
I don't need it. I don't need none of that shit. My mama and them didn't even have, they didn't give me a fucking chance, bro, to earn without that shit. They just said, let's put her, she might be a little slow or something. Let's put her in there. Because why would you
All
give
right,
a
y'all, we're
healthy
going to end
baby
it
to the
right there. I
birth
hope y'all
system? That don't
enjoyed
even
the
make no
live
sense.
stream. Make sure
I'm
you check
well
out
and
the
able.
upload. I just uploaded a new video.
I didn't even look like somebody that might be
I think
slow. I
I'm
ain't look like
going
I
to
had
go
no
with the
Down
title, The
syndrome.
Hidden
I didn't
Truth
look like
Behind the
I ain't have no problem.
Planets.
Why would
Okay?
they fork me over and
Tune
say,
in,
okay, well, we'll just put her in it
like,
because they know no
share,
better.
and subscribe.
They was in the military, and the military be trying to make you put your baby. See,
Peace.
they was in the military. My folks was in the military. How many of y'all in here, folks in the military? Because that's how you know about this birth certificate shit. Y'all know everybody ain't got no birth certificate. Y'all do know it's people that look just like me and y'all. It's a whole bunch of people looking at us like we fucking crazy. Yeah. I know majority of y'all got some military in y'all family, and they convince people in your family to get birth certificates. Just like Navy Federal. If you got a family member that's in business, that's in the military, you can get a Navy Federal. And everybody got a Navy Federal. Somebody in your family in the military. Ain't no other way. See, y'all don't know how deep this military shit go. That's another problem. Listen. Some of y'all got these houses. Do you know you got them motherfuckers for the military? Let it be a war over here. You gonna have to share your house with them or get the fuck out, because that's their shit. Not yours. You got a mortgage. Yeah, y'all gonna find out. Or you had a mortgage and y'all don't have no land patent and all that. Yeah, let it be maritime. They coming straight to y'all house and you gotta let them live there. That's your duty. They won't give me my uncle a birth certificate.
It's a Form W-4, officially known as Employee Withholding Certificate. It's an IRS form that employees submit to their employer to indicate the correct amount of federal income tax withhold from their paycheck. The form is a critical part of the pay-as-you-go U.S. tax system, helping to ensure that employees pay the appropriate amount of tax throughout the year. You don't know the purpose.
Helping the employee to pay their appropriate amount of tax throughout the year. Now, taxes is voluntary. Y'all do know that, right? Paying taxes is voluntary. Who knows that paying taxes is voluntary? And if you go read that statement to W4, you can kind of almost hear it saying, please do this. If you just make your donation today, it's almost begging your ass to do this W4. Because you definitely didn't have to do it. Somebody told you to do that shit. And you did it because you wanted the job. But listen, it should have been a sign that said, even if you don't do this, you're going to get this job. Because since they didn't have that sign, that's the only fucking reason why you did the W4. Because you wouldn't have did it if your ass would have thought you was going to get that job without doing it. So they know this shit. They know the psychology behind getting your ass to fill out some shit. To register and all this bull. These words is...
Yeah. What's up, peoples? Where my likes at? I'ma wait till some more y'all get in before I get started. But while you waiting, man, go ahead and hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Share this. Subscribe to the channel. And hit that little bell so you get a notification when I'm about to drop. When the clouds are the gray highest, then the sky's the darkest. When the world is the coldest, then the times is the hardest. Know the Most High is present through the eyes of his artists. Let me paint a picture for you that'll move your heart the farthest from the pain. Feeling drained from the politics and games that never cease. Snow peace, smoke bodies in the streets. Terrorized in our home by our own damn police. Make you think why I live if I could die and be at peace. Why starve when in prison niggas eat? No brainer, why face the world alone when I can ride and be a banger? Yeah, America is home, but I feel like a stranger cause the laws don't protect me, so I'm constantly in danger. I'm never really living if I'm always preparing for the day I gotta fight to survive the wrath of Karen. Or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe.
Really,
Like, share, and subscribe.
you know, just withstand and just keep taking it. Keep taking it, you know? Now to the mothers and the fathers and the brothers and the daughters and extended family members that's in no specific order, listen up. This is it, it's a blitz on the real. If you ain't with the shits, you should split. We don't wave no white flags, we get all up in the mix. We got bricks, we got stones, we got sticks. Words can never hurt them, so they say, but they gon' say whatever to whoever, however, and whenever that it fits. I never call it quits, I call it how I see it in this bitch. I walk it how I talk it, I stand on real shit, and I'm never gonna get off it. I ain't afraid of death, but I still haven't lost it. I move like a boss in my lane, so never cross it. Keep it moving till the enemy exhausted. Depression got me numb like my arteries is frozen. That's the cost of being chosen when your views are agnostic and your guarantee is go.
Like, share, and subscribe. 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 Like, share, and subscribe.
Peace. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. And make sure you check out the most recent upload and like, comment, share, and subscribe.